auye bei kala zo yanda kwa kwambe haya ameona kwamba mali mkiwe
namba ni agofwe ni kila mtu
mulume majumula unani muhiriki anayemuhiriki wa yui
African weddings are spiritual and a family affair that may involve two families or communities. Marriage in the African community is sacred because it solidifies relationships. This is the most celebrated rite of passage in the African context. Each African community celebrates this rite of passage in different ways. The Agiriama community, found in the Kenyan coast region, has its own way of celebrating this rite of passage. In this community, marriage is a cultural process that ushers in a new life. It is a privilege to the man and the woman who meet the criteria needed by this community. Mama Rua explains the meaning of marriage in the Agiriama community.
Nakushagajwa kihini, nakulajwa kwa mulumewe, amanaye inamba, ni agofwe ni kila mtu. Sababu, azashagajwa kihini, na azadwa ni babayo na mamaye. Apewa mulumewe, akiukahaho, akamanya mulumewe.
Marriage in the Agiriama community involved several steps. On the first step, the man's father identifies a woman to be his son's wife, then proceeds to her home to inquire from the woman's parents if any man has asked her hand in marriage. Mama Mary Randu explained what happens.
Musikana kala wale analolo, andakuza babaye, ye mtana, adzafu ye mzungu wa utungu, andangwa murianga olwazu. Murianga olwazu, kahaza ngwekuza mutu. Ende adze ya uze milomo ya nyumbani ashazi ya kwakwe. Ambirizo etafigome, abalaje katete. Adza kugula muriangu. Yuyahu bimutwa ikala azire hataki uye. Anaenda ye mtana, enda hanganya, anakwenda hao na muhoho hao, ye na muhenza.
After the man's father has gone back, the first formal step is for the man to visit the home of the lady, accompanied by his friend. On their arrival, they are welcomed by the lady's grandmother. Soon after, the lady is called to meet her guest in company of her friend. However, when all this is going on, the grandmother's presence is vital. Basically, the first visit entails the meeting of the lady for the first time, where they get to know each other, and soon after they leave. It is during this visit where the date of the second visit is set. On the second visit, when the woman accepts the man's proposal, the man, in the company of his friend, leaves the lady's homestead with the message that his parents will formally come to initiate the marriage process. The second step of marriage in this community was the first formal visit to the woman's homestead by the man's father. He would come with approximately 4 bottles of 800 milliliters of coconut wine to initiate the marriage process, after which the lady is called in front of her father and the guests to give her parents the go-ahead of the second formal visit, which is dowry taking.
Niwakitsao hata ninwe leo manye mwanangu mimi nikisikino naona vinoziyobwera sigaluka.
mwanangu Janita. Ninaunwa na moyo mwenga bishala ni uyu mulungu nikisa.
The second formal visit would involve both families and any close relatives. In the Agiriama community, giving an average dowry is basically giving the lady's family domestic animals, which could be either cows or goats. An average dowry in this community is 9 cows and a bull, where each cow would represent 10 goats and a bull would represent 5 goats. In addition to this, 24 bottles of coconut wine would be offered to represent the children that the woman will bear in her husband's home. For the Agiriama community, the dowry would either be paid in full or paid partly, and the rest can be paid in future. The dowry payment involved a negotiation process. This means for it to be accepted, both parents have to come to an agreement. It is a matter of giving an offer, challenging the offer, giving a counter offer if need be, and lastly, acceptance after coming to an agreement.
Malia kwapwe na malandama 19 na nzao na kadama 28
Uhenzajo
unahenzaje
fajeni kwako
hivi
kama hivi ikenda hapa
hivi
16 na nzao
hivi
nao
hivi
zilahu
hivi
zaidi sikanazo
hivi
nakubalisa
hivi
ala haroji hamba haria
hivi
kisheri
hivi
kurikane
hivi
similana losi.
The wedding ceremony marks the last stage of the marriage process. In this stage, the woman will stay in her father's compound, keenly watched by her grandmothers, to ensure she does not go to her husband's homestead. Then, the in-laws would send an appointment of the wedding to the lady's home, along with a cow or goats. Preparation of the wedding would include getting a respectable dress and accessories for the bride that will include ando, a traditional white cotton skirt worn by Agiriama women. Kishutu, a lasso worn by the Agiriama, which the bride will tie before wearing the handle. This attire is then blended with the following. Ndore, a traditional cap worn by the bride to show she is married. It is made from ordinary metal and coins. Ndale, a traditional necklace worn by the bride and is made from ordinary metal. Mwanyoka, a traditional necklace made from metal and coins which runs all the way to the waist. Katisi, a traditional anklet made from thin metal. Lele mama, a belt worn by the bride and is made from old coins and beads. Matango, bracelets worn by the bride and is made from metal. Visarasara, these are accessories worn on the upper arm of the Agiriama woman. They are made from beads. Then, the activities of the wedding starts. A cow or a goat is slaughtered. Mzebaya says,
Ay matomba de hivi. Manatawatan. Makitafika sasa ni harusi kwa. Makitafika manata juari tafika mimi. Manangira huko. Ala muse kadomo hai manda makalu suro nyumba. Msijana na ya nyumba ni beku ngini. Beku ko khanda kwenda ko. Tamana zamaona ni reha.
Then the couples are brought to the public for blessings. Mama Rua explains the importance of being blessed during the wedding ceremony.
Avijo. Uriho kukeresi kihini. Dona kelesi unahala maadho ga usigariche ga babayo na mameyo. Na ukigiraga ga babayo na mameyo, ndakwenda ukaishi na mulumeo toto. Na twa muzini
Then a piece of advice would be given to them by their close relatives and parents. The father and the mother will bless them last.
Kulia wanilisho kwambiriza tu sikukala mimi nikisikino sigaluka. Lero nakupa yumu. Aloze sumilani. Hai. Zavisho mimi hadi mimi baba yo. Kuko kuna mishala yo mame yo. Kuna mame yo wakuko. Agiriama changu muzini zo sana. Ela kwa kala wahenzana na kitsawa kambio. Agiriama cha bekiri kile ha. Kabure kuchapa kambio. Takuyira uwe Samo namba ya mwanangu Yumuho huyu na mufuga Toto hatakutire mtaka satana marama Besikale wakati wosi Nikisikira matatizo uwekale ukale ndigoto fene Na henzo ukanifugire mwanangu Kumala kunitunzira nani tunzire yunu
Muhenza, kamuhenze baraha, umuhenze batabu, umuhenze bana pesa, umuhenze takana gitu.
Kishana tume.
Ukifika hamuzini, kamu baga yunafika. Ukapata achangi na kwanza nanga. Ukikala naye kwanza fika hamuzini, yunakale wakupiga.
Blessings on the bride and the groom, the castor oil that was prepared earlier is used to anoint them as a symbol to show that they are newly married couples. This is done by the parents and the two ladies' grandmothers. The grandmother of the bride goes round spitting the castor oil on the ground. This is to show that these two married couples are now bonded together and no man shall come to separate them. Then the following gifts are presented to the newlywed couples by the lady's family. Leso, this is a necessary piece of cloth that any Agiriama woman needs for tying on her waist. Basket, the bride would use this to keep maize or maize flour and can also act like a bag. Mortar and pestle, used for pounding maize or rice. Then, the lady's grandmother helps the bride and the groom to stand up to show that they are now independent and they will have an independent life, the two of them. Marua tells us what happened next.
Unapatia kwenda. Kunemishwa muhoho wa kiche na kilume kurumbe. Mtungani. Aya unambozwa ni atu bai kayombo mananenda kwatu. Aya bejeri vivi hata mpaka utoke nari watu. Aya ulagane na kwenu osini tafigome. Aya uzanya mala vikara uza katikilwa nukale unenda mzini kwatu. Mangire gari ni mfike kwenu. Ni magulu, mnaenda na magulu. Mpaka ufike kwenu kala sihare za kuya.
After all this is done, songs and dances follow to the climax of the whole event. In this, the ladies and the man's family attend the dance except the mother and the father of the bride, because it is a taboo according to the Agiriama tradition. The parents of the bride will have to wait after the wedding ceremony is over, then send their intentions to visit in their child's new home. These songs and dances are meant to remind the newly wedded couples not to forget their marital obligations. Marriage would earn the man and the lady respect and status in the society. In the end, the man and the woman would live happily ever after in their new home. This is how Agiriama marriage is done.
Kara